Hello interwebs, and thanks for tuning into TradeChat. My name's Panzer, and today I'm going to be going over some of the things that I liked and disliked about Cataclysm. I hope you enjoy this video, and if you do, remember to rate it thumbs up. So I know a lot of people have a lot of bad things to say about Cataclysm, and don't get me wrong, it had its flaws. But today I wanted to focus more on some of the things that I really enjoyed about Cataclysm before I get into the things that I think could use improvement. So the first thing about Cataclysm that I really love is transmogrification. I am obsessed with transmogrification, and I think it was one of the coolest features added into Cataclysm, and I'm really excited with the new gear coming up from Mists of Pandaria, and now that I've had a little bit of time to build some sets, I'm really glad they added it into the game, and it was one of my favorite parts of Cataclysm. The next thing I really liked about Cataclysm was the casual raiding aspect. One of the things I hated about previous expansions was that you were either running with a guild or you were running with a pug, and the pugs were always like, there was always like the people who really hated Vent and the people who really wanted to do Vent, and it was very like confrontational, and people constantly left. Pugs often didn't work, so your only real way to raid was with guilds, and if your time schedule didn't work out or if the raid group was full, you just didn't raid at all. So I really like that they added casual raiding with LFR, although I do think the loot is not equivalent to the difficulty level. So I don't think that the gear should be as good as it is, because for me that's more about the experience than it is about the gear. But I still am happy that they added it, and that is always something that they can tweak in the future. The next thing I really liked about Cataclysm was cross-realm play. I love that they decided not to make this a premium service, because I don't know if you remember, but when cross-realm stuff was first announced, when like real ID parties were first announced, that was supposed to be a premium service that was going to cost a certain amount every month to use, and I thought it was really awesome when Blizzard released it for free. I use it all the time. I love that you can do cross-realm BGs and cross-realm raids and cross-realm parties. It really minimizes the need for server changes, so I really love that. To be totally honest with you, another one of my favorite things about Cataclysm was goblins. I only briefly played a Worgen just to try out the storyline, and to be honest, the starting level quests for a Worgen are awesome, so no complaints there. But I love goblins. I'm totally obsessed with them. I've changed 2 of my characters to goblins. My hunter is a goblin and my shaman is a goblin. Goblin shamans have the best freaking totems in the game. They're so awesome. They have an awesome racial, especially if you're like a mage. If you're a mage, you have blink and you have the rocket boots, so you're just like unstoppable in PvP. I love goblins. They're awesome. Plus I love their attitude, and I just really love goblins as a race, and I'm very happy that they added them this expansion. Another thing they did in Cataclysm that I really like is they added a lot more fun quests. A lot of people haven't really played the 1 to 60 content as much, and they'll be like, oh, nothing really got added this expansion. And it was because rather than focusing on endgame content, they focused on early game content, which for someone like me who is an altaholic, love. I love the new zones. They're super fun to play in. The quests are much more dynamic. There's cutscenes, there's events, there's vehicles, there's all sorts of stuff. I really enjoyed the Cataclysm, the Shattering in general. I love all the revamped everything. It's just really fun. That actually brings me into my next thing I really liked, and I really like the redone zones, especially like the starting areas. They didn't redo the Blood Elves, but like the Tauren starting area is freaking awesome, and the Troll starting area, freaking awesome, and the Goblin starting area, awesome. Plus they rated all the zones. Thousand Needles is so cool now. Like I love all the new zones. I really do. Even like the 85 content, I really like those zones too. Like Uldum was the shit. I loved Uldum. Hyjal was awesome. I loved Vashtir. And I know like a lot of people said like, oh well, the novelty of being underwater wore off. It didn't really wear off for me. I really liked the Vashtir quest, so I really have no complaints about like the revamping, the shattering, the new questing. The 80 to 85 content was awesome. Oh, this is a silly one too, but you know what else was awesome that they added in Cataclysm? The mounts that allowed you to turn into a dragon and then someone can ride on your back. That's fucking sweet. I don't even care what you say. Turning into a dragon, fucking sweet. And the last thing that I think was really good about Cataclysm was the improved UI. It really minimized the need for add-ons that I was using previously. I like the new raid frames. They're really nice. They're really clear. They're easy to read. They're customizable. So those are the things that I really liked about Cataclysm. And to sum that all up, Cataclysm, the best parts about Cataclysm were really laying the framework for another expansion. The downsides, obviously, about Cataclysm were a lot of the max level content was remade old content, which was cool for people who didn't play it before, but I had seen most of it already. So it wasn't, I don't know. The end game content wasn't as great. My biggest issue with Cataclysm is that, well, I guess this has pretty much always been this way in World of Warcraft, but the difficulty level of encounters does not scale with the loot that you get. I don't understand how heroics that drop blue gear are harder than the 378 heroics. It just doesn't make sense to me. I really think that difficulty level should directly scale with the loot that you're getting. So hopefully that's something they work on in Mist of Pandaria. My absolute least favorite thing about Cataclysm, and I mean this by fucking far, like this is the worst change they added in the game, and you can't tell me any different. My mind is unchangeable. Guild reputation, guild leveling, guild experience, total fucking bullshit. I am sorry. I get that WoW is an MMORPG. I get that it is made to play with other people. You should not be penalized if you're not consistently playing with the same people. I don't think that's fair. It's just stupid. I really, really dislike guild leveling and experience, or I think that the way you gain it should be different. I don't think you should have to be in a guild group to be gaining more guild it's just stupid. There's nothing you can say that makes me think it's smart. Maybe I'm just a little bit butthurt because my like Wrath of the Lich King guild that I was totally like obsessed with, they broke up this expansion, so like I've kind of been guild hopping, and like I haven't really settled into a place. Most of what I've done this expansion has been on my own, so it pisses me off that when I'm still playing WoW for 20-30 hours a week, that just because I'm not playing with my guildies, I don't get the benefits. And honestly, like, I don't want to like leave my guild, but like it's stupid. I hate that. I wish they'd take it out of the game. I really do. I don't like it. Moving on to a more positive note, these are just a few things that I would really like to see in WoW. I would love to see more variety in character customization, more hairstyles and hair colors, or at least interchangeable hairstyles and colors, because I'm going to bitch about this until I'm blue in the face, but it doesn't make sense to me that you can't dye your color, like your hair color, any color you want. Clearly, I can have whatever crazy hair that I want, so like, it's just a hairstyle. Like, I don't think that you should be confined to like, what is it, like 6 or 10 or something like that. I don't know. It's not very many hairstyles. So I have a problem with that. I think all the hairstyles should be interchangeable across the board. And I think all hair colors should be interchangeable too. Like, I don't think you should be limited to a certain hair color, because that's just not the way the world works. You can bleach your hair and dye it any freaking color you want, clearly. So I'm just going to say this right now. This is off topic. This is not my real hair. This is just an accessory, so don't freak out or anything. My real hair is over here. So also, I would love to see more environment effects. I would love to see it get darker at night to the point of where you needed like a torch, or there was like actual lighting. Like right now, it's kind of like when it gets dark, it's like ambient kind of. It's not like dark, it's like dimmer. I would love to see it actually get dark and have there be like street lights and stuff like that. That's something that would interest me, and you'd have to use like torches. I would like that. I would also love to see more like weather effects, like seasons. Like there's nowhere in the world that really has like true seasons where it snows sometimes and rains sometimes, and it's kind of like it just switches between either raining or not raining and like snowing or not snowing. So I would love to see more dynamic weather, and I'd love to see things like puddles gathering on the ground when it rained, or like, I don't know, stupid stuff like that. I would also like to see the cities be no-fly zones. I know that that's probably like something that a lot of people don't like, but it seems like the only place that you use ground mounts is BGs, and like, I love ground mounts. I spent a lot of time like rep grinding to get a lot of my mounts, and I would love to just use them more. Like I'm kind of like a hipster. I often use ground mounts in cities because it's just joke. This is so cool. You wouldn't understand. I don't know. It's not cool at all. I'm just kidding. But I like to use ground mounts. I would love to see there be more areas where you were limited to ground mounts. And I'm not talking like, it's stupid how in like the Isle of Kildonis you can't use your flying mount. Like, I'm just saying maybe like if you're over a certain part of the city you can only use ground mounts, or maybe maybe Ogremar is okay, but then I don't freaking know. I would just love to see more ground mounts being used. I guess I didn't really think about how that would be incorporated. I just would love there to be more usage of ground mounts. That's all. And then I also would love to see a team deathmatch PvP BG. I don't understand why they don't have a game that's like the first one to this many kills wins, or the first one to this many honorable kills wins. It doesn't really make sense to me, because that would be like a Slayer style like deathmatch BG that was like, I don't know, like 20v20, and like it was the first one to like maybe 200 kills. That would be fun as shit. That would be so fun. Why don't they have that? And that's not even planned for pandas either. So I don't know what's up with that. And then my last thing I would really like to see in the next expansion is more accountability in pugs. Right now there's no sort of rating system, and like people can boot people for no reason, and I have a problem with that. Like yesterday I was tanking on my paladin, and we got to the very last boss, and just before we like enabled the encounter, they booted the rogue for low DPS, and I voted no on kicking him. Like I voted not to kick him, but everybody else voted to kick him, and they're like, his DPS was too low. I'm like, we haven't wiped, no one died, and we're on the last boss. Who cares? And everybody's like, well, I don't fucking want people who don't try in my group. Well, I don't want fucking rude asses like you in my group. I'd rather have someone who's quiet and polite and doesn't pull shit and does low DPS than someone who's fucking rude and obnoxious and fucking stupid. I don't care what your DPS is like. I really don't. Like, and what bothered me is the person who kicked him, the person who initiated the kick, had been pulling the entire time, and it's so obnoxious for me. You're a fucking Death Knight. If you want to be a tank, be a tank. That's fine. But don't fucking come in my group and pull aggro off of me on purpose and pull groups when that's the tank's job, and then boot a rogue who, like, I don't care that he was doing low DPS. Like, he wasn't hindering the group in any way. Stupid. There should be more accountability in pugs. You should not be able to boot people like more. You should only get like 2 or 3 boots a day or something. Again, I haven't fully thought out about how they would work this. There just should be some sort of system for accountability. You shouldn't be able to just fucking boot people like crazy. It's stupid and it's unfair, and I don't like it. I don't like it, not one little bit. So that is my thoughts on Cataclysm. So I would love to know one thing that you like, one thing that you didn't like, and one thing that you would like to see in the future. Leave a comment below or upload a video response. What you're thinking about that, check out today's screenshot of the day. And it looks like that's my cue, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Remember to comment and thumbs up and subscribe. Check out these annotations right here to see these videos that you may have missed. I love you all. You're in my hearts. I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.